Hello everybody, my name is Phaewil and welcome back to Iron Man mode. Today I'm playing Dungeon of the Endless, and this is another roguelike game. It is more of a strategy roguelike game. It's a long roguelike game. It's probably the longest roguelike game I've ever played. And when I say it's long, I mean one playthrough can take 2 hours or more. And if I had any complaint about the game, that would probably be it, that it's a little long. But I still really like it. This is a roguelike game that I've never actually beaten. Any roguelike game that I've put a lot of time into, I've beaten it. This is the only one that I've put a lot of time into, and I've never finished it. To specify also, the reason it's called Dungeon of the Endless, well, I mean, I guess I don't know the actual reason, but it is tied into the Endless universe. If you're familiar with the Endless Space or Endless Legend games, it is tied into that universe. It has it is a sci-fi concept, and this is a there seems to be a weird theme with sci-fi survival or roguelike games where your spaceship gets shot out of the sky onto a planet. But as far as I understand, this escape pod lands on the planet that these people were meant to colonize anyway. There's a bit of a backlog. That's not the right. There's like a log that you unlock with pictures and stuff as you go that gives you a little bit of insight into what happened here. Most of these characters are like, there's just 3 different kinds of prisoners. Also, I want to just point out before I continue that I have it's funny that they have like Team Fortress 2 based characters. I don't know, that's just funny to me. But there's 3 different kinds of factions, is what I guess you could call them. There's the prisoners, the wardens, the guards, and the natives. Because this is a planet where there's a native bug-like race. Well, I would pick my 2 favorite characters to start with. I picked Max O'Kane. I'm not too fond of him as a character. He's not that interesting in my opinion. But he's very helpful because he gives you more science. And Scorig. Scorig is my favorite character because he's just an interesting overall. He's weird. He's a cannibalistic chevalier. I don't know how that can be a thing, but it is. Now, I really like the art style of the, and this is probably going to sound strange, I like the art style of the loading screens in this game. They look very nice. Now, what makes this very interesting, in my opinion, is the way that it is strategic, and there are doors. This is a door. Every time you open a door, it's like a turn passes, and every time a turn passes, you get more resources. The same resources used in this as are used in Endless Legend, and I assume in Endless Space. I've never played Endless Space, but I've played Endless Legend. So it borrows some of those elements of a probably 4X strategy game, of the resources at least, which are all utilized in this game. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have, well, you know what? I'll have both of them go together, because going together is better than going alone. Okay, so I just got some dust. Dust is the only thing you don't get every turn. Dust is like gold. And I need dust to power the rooms. If a room is not powered, then monsters can spawn in there. If a room is powered, then I don't have to worry about that. Additionally, if a room is powered, then I can build a generator, which will increase my amount of industry, science, or food that I gain every time I open the door. And there's some monsters right there. Now that's not going to be too hard because this is the very beginning of the game. They're very weak monsters. So my characters can handle them very easily. And it looks like we have our first dead end. This entire game is a labyrinth. A randomly generated labyrinth. And the overall goal is to escape, of course. I actually have enough food so I can level up one of my characters now. And I think it's gonna be better to level up Max. There's also there's a lot of depth to this game. I don't want to just go into everything right now because that'll take me a long time to explain. But there's some interesting RPG elements. Every single character has passive and active skills. Some of them have the same ones, but each one is unique in what passive and active skills they can get in combination. They can also give them items to boost their stats, give them new skills, so on and so forth. Now, when I looked into this game, because I like looking into a game before I purchase it, I like seeing gameplay to clarify what's going on. I didn't realize that you don't have as much control over your characters as it looks like. You mostly choose where they go, what doors they open, and what rooms they go to, and you can choose when they use their active skills. Aside from that, they do their own thing. They interact on their own. Now this room has to stay on powered because I don't have enough dust. But that's okay, because as long as the character isn't here, it won't spawn any monsters. As long as you can see the room. Basically, it's like a fog of war. If you can see in the fog of war, then there won't be any monsters. Let's see, what can we research now? This is another important factor of the game. You can build little defensive modules as well that help you protect your characters, kill monsters, and overall help you escape the dungeon. The dungeon of the endless. I don't want any of these right now that I can afford, so I'm going to ignore that. And I'm going to have Squirrel open this door. See, I want my characters grouped up, or else Squirrel might have died. So it's less likely that he'll die right now, because it's early in the game and the enemies aren't doing as much damage. But that's okay. But I still don't want to take that risk, because it is very possible to have both of your characters die at the very beginning of the game. Now, right now I only have two characters, and that's another dead end. And they're gonna attack right there. I shouldn't have had them both go on that. That was a mistake. It is very possible to lose both your characters at the very beginning of the game, which we're still in. Yeah. I think it's gonna be best to start putting up some turrets there. Now, as I'm wandering about, my main goal is to just try to find the exit, which I found many more dead ends than I've found continuing doors. There's the exit. Now for the dangerous part. Now that I've found the exit, I need to make sure that I can get this crystal to this room. As soon as I have the crystal in that room, I can go to the next floor. But as soon as I pick up the crystal, every room that is not powered will start spawning monsters. And this is usually where this is where losing characters happens. I'm probably not going to have too much of an issue. I'm going to have just Max O'Kane standing there. Max is going to stay in there. And Scorig is going to pick this up. Picking this up also makes your characters much, much slower. Scorig is fastest of the characters I have right now, so that's why he's carrying that. And I want him heading back there immediately. Yeah, Max is in horrible danger already. I can heal him with food though. Okay, there. Now, what's important to note is that once you click exit, your characters are immune to damage. And then you go in this elevator where there's no monsters and the characters talk to each other. But that's not that important. The first thing is like, as soon as you click exit, you're free. You're good. You can't be damaged. You're out. The second thing is that if you don't have all your characters in that room, say you only have one character in that room who's holding the crystal, and you click exit, that character will live on his own. He will not wait for the others to get in there. And you will have left all the other characters behind. They are dead. Continue the dialogue, and let's just go to the next one. Another thing is that some characters actually have interactions between each other in the elevator that are unique to each other. But I'm not too concerned about that right now. I'm much more concerned about trying to survive and win the game. I don't know if I need more food or more industry. And I think right now I want more industry. And we get to the chest. Happy pills. This is one of the items I was talking about before to help raise my character's stats. Each character has different items that they can equip and different amount of items they can equip. For example, Scorig can only equip two different items. You can equip a spear and that's not actually a glove, like a utility item. Where Max can equip a handgun, an armor, and a utility item. Since I do have enough industry, I don't have any reason to not build a food replicator. That'll help me level up my characters as we go throughout the game. And also heal them. This gives a bonus or negative, or negative. This gives health regen 20, defense 0. So all my characters have 0 defense. It's just flat 0 defense. They take full damage from everything, but they regenerate health faster, which is not a great thing in my opinion. Okay, so I can get the emergency generator. I want that more than anything else that's there right now. Later on, that can be very helpful if I'm ever in a situation when I need to power a room, but I just don't have the dust for it. For now, though, I can do this to make it so I don't have any more monsters spawning than I would like. I didn't want him to do that. See, now this is actually really bad, because see, that's very, very bad. I'm already in a bad predicament because of what just happened. See, those creatures attacked my crystal, the power crystal, which when the power crystal is attacked, I lose dust. And when I lose dust, I can't power as many rooms, of course. And the less room that I have powered, the more monsters appear and attack me. Okay. The combat's still not over because there's more monsters coming. There's a very large variety of enemies, and they get worse and worse as you go. Which, the large variety of enemies, although fun, can be very frustrating. At this rate, I actually want to do this. I want to have Scorp go in here, because he's faster. Okay, that's lucky. Sort of. Okay, so now I can use food to purchase armor and other equipment. The thing is, I don't know if I really want to do that right now, so I'm gonna ignore him for now. He can die. Just very nonchalantly, let me understand that he can die. But I found the exit, and I don't want to dawdle on this floor any longer because it's dangerous. And the best way make sure that all my characters are gonna escape is to make sure that I'm using my resources to whittle down and it's kind of like a tower defense game in that way, where I'm using my drones to whittle down the enemies that come through, kill some of course, but more often than not that's just going to be used to get them weaker so my heroes can actually kill them. With some monsters, it's strategically a bit easier for drones or for heroes to kill the monsters. Oh, also, when your hero is in a room with monsters, they get slowed down dramatically. And here we go. So even though I didn't do too great on that floor, I made it to the second floor, so it's basically like everything was set. And I'm going to start the next floor on the next episode. So, thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please give it a like. If you want to see more videos that I'm going to do in the future, then please subscribe. If you want to see more of this specifically, I'm definitely doing more. So be sure to come back every day until I stop playing the game, you know. It's not going to be forever. Nothing lasts forever. Goodbye.